What if I told you you only needed to get 2 hours of sleep per night to feel completely rested, even probably more rested than you feel now, and you could sustain this for a very long time without ever needing to get more than 2 hours of sleep per night? Imagine all the extra time you would have. Well, this is called polyphasic sleeping, and it definitely exists, but there are also some very prominent drawbacks that might just be a deal breaker. Now, before you can understand how polyphasic sleeping works, you need to understand how sleeping works in general and the different stages of sleep, and also why we sleep. Now, why we sleep may seem like a very simple question at first. You may think we have had that knowledge for centuries before, but actually today we still don't have a definite answer to why we sleep. We have several theories, and some of them are probably right, and they're right in a combination. We probably don't just sleep for one reason in particular, but probably the biggest reason is just to organize memories into long-term memories and decide which memories to keep and which memories to throw out. We also probably do some tasks such as just regenerating cells and organs and stuff like that, not giving the body time to rest. But even though your brain is very active when you sleep. Now, sleep is generally divided into different sleep cycles. Depending on which source you look at, there might be a different amount, but most likely sleep scientists agree that there's two main types of sleep: REM and non-REM. Non-REM is then broken down into different amounts of cycles, usually about 3. The first one, N1, or non-REM 1, or light sleep, is just a 5-minute transition from a waking state into a sleeping state. Not much that goes on there, and it's probably not even worth mentioning. N2 stage is light sleep. It usually lasts around 25 minutes, and if you wake up during light sleep, you feel very refreshed and rested. And that's why a 20-minute power nap during the day feels so good. But if you take a 45-minute nap, you feel very tired and you want to go back to sleep. This is called sleep inertia. It happens when you're in a deep sleep or REM sleep. So if you want to take a nap during the day, it should either be around 20 minutes or then you have to go for an hour and a half. And if you want to wake up feeling rested. Not much actually goes on during light sleep. Your brain is a little active, but we haven't pinpointed the exact reason of what it does. It may just be a bigger transition into sleep and just generally refreshing your body. Deep sleep is probably the least understood of any of the cycles. Your brain is very not active during this time, and most of your blood flow is going to your organs, and this may suggest it's just a time for your cells to reproduce and stuff like that, and your organs to get nutrients and stuff. Now, REM sleep is probably the kind of sleep that's the most complicated, yet we know the most about it. Your brain is very, very active during REM sleep, and it's probably the time when you're organizing memories into long-term memories and what to throw out. Dreaming occurs in this stage of sleep, and dreaming is most likely just a side effect of your brain organizing memories, and the conscious part of your brain picks up these brain waves and tries to make sense of them, and that's why you get dreaming, and that's also why your dreams probably sometimes have to do with what happened the day before. Now, REM sleep is probably the most important, as our research suggests, and as polyphasic sleeping proves, it is possible to live just on REM sleep. Now, what polyphasic sleeping does is you take naps of a certain length at a certain time of day, every day, and then wake up, and usually these naps are shorter than the whole stage of sleep, which usually lasts around an hour and a half. And say you just take a 20-minute nap at a certain time of day, and you never sleep any more than that, except for the other 20-minute naps you take. At first, you'll just go into light sleep and wake up like you're taking a power nap, but then eventually your body will get very sleep deprived. And your body knows REM sleep is probably the most important, so eventually you'll trick your body into going right into REM sleep. Then you sleep for about 20 minutes while REM sleep is happening, then you wake up before any of the other stages happen. Therefore, you only need a little sleep, because instead of taking a full hour and a half to get to REM sleep, you just go right into it and wake up. But you never get to do any other stages of sleep. There are many different kinds of sleeping patterns that many people like to do. The most common by far is monophasic, which, if you haven't guessed already, is just sleeping for about 6 to 8 hours every night, once a night, going through all the stages of sleep This is obviously natural because about 2/3 of Americans do it, but it is definitely not the most efficient because you need a lot of sleep per night and it goes through all the cycles. Another kind of natural sleeping pattern is biphasic sleep, which is obviously just sleeping twice. A very popular biphasic sleeping pattern is sleeping for 4.5 hours at night and taking an 1.5-hour nap during the day. Many people also get about 6 hours of sleep per night and take a 20-minute power nap per day. Biphasic sleeping is the second most common sleeping pattern in the world, and about 1/3 of Americans do it. Now, these are both natural, and it has been proven when people are locked in somewhere where they can't see sunlight and asked to sleep whenever they feel tired, and they both go on monophasic and biphasic naturally. But many sleep hackers try to get much less sleep than most people get by hacking their sleep cycles, by taking a certain amount of naps at a certain time of day, and then tricking their brain, like explained earlier, to go right into REM sleep and waking up. Some of these cycles may include the everyman, which is you get a little of the other kinds of sleep because you take 3 hours at night, then you take 3 20-minute power naps throughout the day for a total of 4 hours. If you want to go more extreme, you can try either the Dimaxion or the Uberman. The Uberman's probably more popular because it's the most extreme, but both of them equate to 2 hours of total sleeping per day. The Uberman consists of 6 20-minute naps throughout the day, which are all REM sleep. It has been proven that this can work and you can live on REM sleep, but because many people do it for about 6 months, but many of them quit after that because it's very hard to keep the constant schedule, because if you get off or just skip one nap, you get very sleep deprived and it takes weeks to regain your full potential. If you want to read first-hand accounts of people who did this, try Steve Pavlina's blog, or just try Googling polyphasic sleep experiments and many results should come up. Although this may seem very tempting to get a 22-hour day and get much more free time, I would strongly recommend you do not try this. Many people have reported craving unusual things, and this may be a sign that they have a deficit of nutrients produced in sleep, and still not very much research has been put into this kind of stuff, and we don't know if there's any long-term negative effects of it. There's also just the fact that evolutionarily we probably wouldn't waste 6 hours of our day sleeping unconscious where we could get attacked by something during the night either. So I would strongly recommend not doing this if you value your health, even though many people have succeeded, but they still haven't done it for more than 6 months, and the record is probably around 2 years. I hope you learned a lot about sleep cycles during this video and you enjoyed the content, and if you did, a subscription would be appreciated. Also a comment or a like would also be fine. If you enjoyed this video, hopefully many more like this will come, and also other topics such as gaming will also be featured in this channel. Thank you for watching and have a good day.